Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you just landed on my page, my name is AspieAnswersAll, or I'm known as Aspie, and today I'm basically all about creating mental health awareness versus just every other topics that I feel to address with you all, whatever comes to my mind and heart at the time. As you know, basically I'm all about sharing my life story with AS and the like, and hopefully that you guys will get to know me under that infrastructure of those diagnoses as me as a person. Also for that, I also do some other form of stuff, being a mental advocate for you all when you have certain everyday situations that comes your way that may be of use to you, be it my pearls of wisdom, knowledge, and also maybe some tips and advice along the way of regardless what it may be. So whatever it is, as I said before, regardless if it's in some certain series that I'm bringing out, be sure to seek, second opinion or medical advice maybe before you start doing these, treatment or managing techniques that I'm sharing with you all, or you could try them if you feel comfortable enough, and actually, if one of them don't work, refer to some other steps by steps, so hopefully that it will be of value to you. So, in all further ado, welcome back, the Oblies. Thank you for your support. Thank you for actually being loyal to me and all that. Hopefully that you're learning something along the way, be it, some of the learning conditions or whatever it may be, like I'm sharing right now. So, as you know, this is hopefully the last few series of my learning disabilities in the dyslexia series that I'm hoping to address to you all, and hopefully that you'll learn something new and be of beneficial to you. So this one's part 10, episode 2, basically based on how to teach a dyslexic child. So let's begin this. This is about improving the classroom environment. Some of this is step by step and maybe, useful, maybe not to you, but just bear in mind that, everyone's look different in the way of their learning disabilities of dyslexia versus ADHD and the like of what I've addressed so far. Some of the tips may sound like I'm repeating myself, but I humbly apologize in advance, because how I look at it, some of these methods that I've included with the tips and advice along the way will bound to be repetitive, but it should work for most people, not just some. It could be some for the neurotypicals they are struggling to, be it whatever it may be. So let's begin this though. So number 1 is have the student so close to the teacher. Placing the student near the teacher will help eliminate any of the distractions, be it, for example, the outside of the window of birds chirping in the trees, or the change of season of maybe a windy day with rain coming in and the tree leaves are rustling versus the branches tapping on the window, sort of thing. This will allow the child to focus on the work if you at least put them in front of the class, and maybe then will show that they're solely focusing on you. Sitting next to extremely talkative children or noisy hallway may make it more difficult, though, also for them to concentrate. This will also make it easier, however, for the teacher to provide extra instruction if necessary for that student. Number 2, allow the use of recording devices. Some schools may allow this, be it tape recorders, be it, your little mini USB kind of recording, digital recorders and the like, because, this is beneficial for some. And like I said, this is part of one of the learning strategies or tools I used to use back in the days, and this was really good for me. This can help the student overcome any reading difficulties, because obviously with these digital recorders and all that, we can play it back anytime we like, many times we like as well. And basically the more we play with that recording and trying to recall it all, we should be able to pick up the most important parts in that lecture. This, as I said, this sort of thing will help the student can apply the instructions and concepts for clarification or reinforcement. However, if the recordings are made available before class, the student can read along as he or she listens to the tape. Okay, like I said before, allow the child to at least read out loud if need be, for the ones that are dyslexic, if need be, so so that you know that they were actually listening to you. But bear in mind that many, as I said before, it may not be beneficial to some students to read out loud. Some dyslexics go really shy about it, some are not, about the everyday condition. Number 3, provide handouts. Again, since dyslexia children struggle with short-term memory, providing them with some sort of outline as you are lecturing is helpful, specifically following real long lectures. This will help the child follow along the lesson, take better notes, and know what to expect from them. Okay, here's the tips and advice here is use visual cues such as asterisks or bullets to highlight important directives or information. And another one is write homework instructions directly on the assignment so the child knows what is expected. It is also beneficial to allow use of reference guides such as alphabet and numbers. Number 4, use different test-taking formats. Because children with dyslexia will learn differently, the usual test-taking formats may not allow them to demonstrate what they have learnt. Children may benefit from oral testing or untimed tests. So as I said before, basically sometimes with different forms of dyslexia, be it oral and that will be maybe beneficial for the students. Some may do it with the untimes. Okay, a tip here for this is, or suggestion shall we say, during an oral test, the test questions are read to the student and the student answers the questions orally. The test questions can be pre-recorded or read at the time of the test. The student's answers could also be recorded for easier grading. Students with dyslexia often have trouble working under pressure and take longer to read the question. Allowing the student ample time to take a test will ensure that the student has the time to understand the questions, think, and write down an answer. Like I said, do not forever rush the student. Seeing all of the test questions at once can be so overwhelming. Only allow the student view one test question at a time will help them to focus, however. Number 5, decrease the amount of copying. Students with dyslexia need more time to copy information from the board. Take notes from lectures and write instructions for assignments. Teachers can provide lecture notes and written instructions for assessments so the student can focus on the actual information. So again, basically what I'm saying here is before every lesson maybe do a course outline, objectives and everything on that course outline so the student know what they're intended to do. It's really important. I feel this work's really beneficial for me, saves me time to be too overwhelmed. Oh, what am I supposed to learn? Because sometimes my attention span now goes out the window. I may be able to sit there for an hour or two lesson but then again, I need breaks like any other student would, therefore, using time wisely with those breaks. But then you got to also remember teachers may also assign another student to take notes or allow a good note taker to share their notes with the student. So always have maybe a note take, someone who can note take for you could be beneficial too. Number 6, do not focus on the quality of handwriting. Some children with dyslexia may struggle with their handwriting because of the fine motor skills it requires. You can change the response format of the question to multiple choice, underlining, or some other form of marking to make it easier for them to answer. Students could also be given extra space to write the answers. Emphasis should be placed on the content that the student provides versus how the information should look or be presented. Number 7, model organisational structures. Help the individuals with dyslexia to develop organisational skills that will benefit them for the rest of their lives. Organisation could involve using different colour folders, dividers to keep track of their homework assignments and tests. Model these in the classroom as well, but also encourage them to apply them at home. Students, the tip here is students should also be encouraged to use personal assignment planners, calendars to keep track of due dates for assignments, test dates and other activities they may be involved in. Have them write daily assignments in their assignment book or in a calendar or somewhere that they can be easily accessible and readable for them. This goes back to making sure that they're organised at home, doing it at home, setting that room of theirs maybe in a little study area for them. Check the assignment before the students leave school to make sure they understood the direction. Number 8, last but not least, modify homework assignments. A 1-hour assignment for a typical child may take 3 hours for the dyslexic child to complete. This can make the child really anxious, stressed out, and placed an unnecessary burden on them. Instead of having the student complete the questions 1 to 20, have the student only answer the odd or even number questions. Teachers can also set a time limit for homework to don't or only have the student focus on the key concepts that was given in class in the process. Okay, a tip here is also, instead of presenting homework assignments through writing, students may be allowed to present information orally, visually, or otherwise that they communicate best. So always, again, based on how it best suited for the ones that are dyslexic, because every form of dyslexia, as I said before, of the subtypes, regardless what it may be, basically will learn in different areas, be it oral, visual, hands-on, as in tactile. So allow for those concepts at least, because it's really important to actually, as I said before, include them instead of excluding them in everything that goes on. So while that basically ends the part 2 of episode 10 of How to Teach a Dyslexic Child. Give me the delightful thumbs up for support and engagement. Feel free to comment below if I've missed out anything that you feel maybe is of relevance to people. Let's just hopefully give you guys a challenge right now to the ones that may be watching and are like me in a form of the way you learn. Share some tips and advice maybe along the way of what I may have missed that could be of beneficial to others. Feel free to also private message me on Facebook or Twitter, or direct message me basically, or shall we say, on Twitter or Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'm hoping to return myself back on the daily once I settle in, and also feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. So in all further, thanks for your support, thanks for watching, do what you love what you do. Until next time, until I see you all again, so have a great day.